Good afternoon, beautiful people. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. I did not host this year, so I just showed up to my parents' house empty-handed, but I did remember to bring my Tupperware. So who in here makes a killer green beans casserole? Because I've never had it and I'm dying to try it. I love green beans, but I'd imagine I'd probably have to go to the South to get the full experience. Okay, so there's a familiar story we keep hearing these days: a vote for change, throw out the old guard, fresh start. We love the sound of that. Who wouldn't want to reset when a city's been struggling? Well, buckle up, because the fresh start promised by New York City's new mayor-elect might be a lot uglier and more messy than the campaign ads made it look like. Today, I'm talking about Zohran Mamdani and his decision to ask 179 City Hall staffers under the prior administration to resign. That's right, nearly 200 people. Many of them longtime civil servants, told that their jobs are gone once Mandani takes office. Welcome to Nellie Miranda.
Changes at City Hall under the incoming Mamdani administration. Mamdani's team has requested the resignations from 179 staff members from the Adams administration. They're expected to resign by the inauguration on January 1st. A spokesperson for the mayor-elect said, quote, "As is standard practice for a mayoral transition, the mayor-elect and his transition team are working to build their City Hall plan, which includes new staff in key roles to ensure they can deliver effectively on their agenda."
As always, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Okay, so what exactly happened? According to the reporting, the incoming administration asked for 179 employees, many hired under former Mayor Eric Adams, to step down. Some of them weren't just political appointees. Some of them had served through multiple administrations, dating back to previous mayors. What makes this troubling isn't that new leadership wants its own team. Leaders should be able to choose their top people. What's troubling is how abrupt and sweeping the purge is, with apparently no opportunity for many of these workers to reapply, interview, or even discuss their fate. That doesn't look like a smooth transition. That looks like a political sweep. You're fired. You're fired. Everyone is fired. It's laughable considering he wants to make New York affordable, but at the same time, make almost 200 people jobless. And I'm sure some of those soon-to-be fired people voted for him.
First time outgoing FDNY Commissioner Robert Tucker breaking his silence on why he's stepping down from his post.
This is Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani continues to make changes at City Hall. Robert Moses is here with the details. Robert.
Kurt and Rosanna, Zohran Mamdani takes office 5 weeks from tomorrow. He's not only busy installing his own team, but he's doing some house cleaning at City Hall as well. The mayor-elect has asked for the resignations of 179 staffers who currently work for Mayor Eric Adams, according to multiple reports. They're expected to step down by the time that Mamdani takes office on New Year's Day. Fire Commissioner Robert Tucker already announced his resignation. His last day will be Friday, December 19th. So far, no word yet on who will serve as acting commissioner between then and when the new administration takes over. Tucker, who is Jewish, is speaking out for the first time about why he decided to leave.
I don't want to leave as much unfinished business as I am leaving, but I thought it was the right time to depart. Ideologically, there's no doubt that the mayor and I disagree on some very fundamental things to me.
Mamdani's team announced that in fewer than 20 days, he has already raised more than $2 million towards his goal of $4 million for the transition. More than 25,000 individual donors have contributed an average of $75. That money, the incoming administration says, will help vet resumes, pay current employees, and offset inauguration expenses. Mamdani talked yesterday about the need to hit the ground running on day one.
New Yorkers are rightfully an impatient people. We want this transition to be a time where we can do the work of preparation so that January 1st is not the day where I'm asking myself, I wonder who's going to be my first deputy mayor, right? Or I wonder who's going to be running my OMB, or, I wish I had staff so that we could have done the vetting of the 70,000 applicants from our portal. The first year is a critical time.
One of Mamdani's early decisions could be whether to approve a city council bill raising pay for both the mayor as well as city council members by 16%. Notably, some key Mamdani allies in the council support that bill. It would be a thorny decision for Mamdani, who campaigned on an affordability agenda for all. So far, he hasn't said publicly what he plans to do if that bill reaches his desk.
Think about that for a second. These are people who may have served New York City during tough times, COVID responses, asylum seeker crisis, public safety woes. We're talking about institutional memory, experience, the people who know the ins and outs of running a city as complex as New York, and they get shown the door, just like that. One of the outgoing City Hall officials even said she was surprised. She said that many of the staffers being let go might have even voted for Zohran Mamdani, yet they were given zero chance to even interview under the new administration. Fabian Levi, a spokesperson for Mayor Adam, had this to say. Let's read it from the New York Times. The article reads, Fabian Levi, a spokesman for Mr. Adams, said that the outgoing mayor handled things differently when he transitioned into office in 2021, keeping on longtime public servants who served in the Bloomberg and de Blasio administrations. We're extremely disappointed that working-class New Yorkers who dedicated their lives to bringing us out of COVID, managing the asylum seeker crisis, and doing so much more for their fellow New Yorkers were not even considered for roles in the incoming Mamdani administration, Mr. Levi continued. He said the employees should not be the victims of political gamesmanship and called the decision to part ways with them the oncoming Mamdani administration's first governmental mistake. Certainly, some current City Hall staffer members have seen the writing on the wall and have been preparing their resumes and seeking new job opportunities. Now, Mamdani frames this as standard practice for a mayoral transition. His team argues a fresh start needs a fresh team. Fair enough, but at what cost? What we're seeing here isn't just a routine staffing change. It feels like a purge, the signal that under this new administration, political loyalty and ideology will matter more than competence and service record. That, to me, is a dangerous shift. He's treating civil service roles as a victory lap for insiders and not the people. So jobs will be handed out to supporters? How will that not erode the foundation of stable governance? Like, you cannot make bureaucracy into a reward system instead of a service system. And meanwhile, average New Yorkers, the people who depend on city services, could be the ones who suffer the most, because when you lose institutional knowledge and experienced staff, response times, governance quality, crisis management, everything worsens. But Mamdani defended his position to fire 179 staff members. Watch.
Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani defending his decision to fire 179 City Hall staffers. He did ask them to leave before he takes office in January, on January 1st. Many of those who were told to leave are believed to be Eric Adams loyalists. Mamdani was asked about this at a Thanksgiving meal.
My message to each and every New Yorker is that we will make our assessments on the basis of the work that is done, not on the basis of who appoints people. And that is an assessment that we will apply to the entirety of city government. And it's also something that we share with the 70,000 people who applied for jobs in our city hall and in our city government, which is that we are looking to build a city government that can fulfill the agenda of affordability.
All right, so Mamdani is keeping Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, as you see right there, and we reported on, in her role.
Let's also consider what type of new politics Mamdani promised. He ran on change, on representing the people, on rebuilding city government. But if part of that change means firing 179 people overnight, many of them minorities or longtime civil servants, then who is he really serving? His base? Political insiders? Himself? Who?
I want to write a news story from our city hall. And I know I'm not the only one. Because earlier this month, more than 1 million New Yorkers voted for new leadership. They voted for a city that didn't feel impossible to live in. They voted for a city where we can be free and we can be fed. And they voted for a city where joy, gratitude, and rest no longer feels as if it will forever be out of reach.
If you run for change and the first thing you do is clear house, what message does that send to hardworking public servants? And what does that say about your priorities, competence, and service, or ideology and loyalty? Now, I know they'll rush to say that all politicians do it, but 179? Mamdani's like, be out before I show up. Do not make me have to do it. It's like throwing a huge party at your parents' house and suddenly getting a text that they're pulling into the driveway soon. So you panic and kick everyone out the back door before they make it through the front door. If this kind of sweeping staff purge gets accepted as the norm, It becomes a playbook for other cities and states. Imagine public safety departments, emergency services, housing offices, social services, all subject to purges whenever a certain ideology wins. That is not stability. That is chaos waiting to happen. That's power consolidation wrapped in the language of change. And folks, I am telling you now, when government becomes that partisan, when loyalty replaces experience, we all lose. So I ask you, do you believe sweeping 179 people out of their jobs, experienced city workers, etc., was worth the promise of change? Or do you think this was a dangerous, reckless move under the guise of a fresh start? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.